Everyone's worried about money these days. Everyone is worried about their jobs, and even if they've been lucky enough to keep their jobs, we still are all looking for ways that we can cut corners and spend less money to hopefully ward off the recession demons.
Making dinner for four for under $10, when you consider the cost of food, the economy, and the fact that sometimes a latte and a muffin can cost you around $6, I don't know.
I think my biggest piece of advice when it comes to saving money at the grocery store is to avoid all the prepared, convenience food. I mean, some of it isn't even all that convenient. Frozen fish sticks take 25 minutes and a fresh piece of fish takes 10. We're all feeling the pinch a little bit these days in terms of money, but I think the very best way to save money, just over the long term in general, is to learn how to cook. You can't get much cheaper than just using raw ingredients and cooking with what you have.
You have hit the nail on the head. Cooking with what you have on hand is a brilliant idea. You don't need to run to the grocery store every time you want to cook something. I started thinking about things that I like to eat that are relatively inexpensive, kind of the meals that I do on weeknights when I don't want to go all out and create a big giant meal. And I started thinking about eggs. So one of my favorite things is a Spanish tortilla, tortilla española, and you might be thinking about the flour or corn flatbread that you see in Mexican cuisine, and they share the same name, but they're not related at all. Spanish tortilla is basically just a frittata or an omelet. It's beaten eggs with some potatoes and sauteed onions, put in a skillet, cooked, flipped, and then served into wedges. It's phenomenal. You see it all over Spain. It's perfect for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's a really easy way to feed 2 to 4 people, and it's not expensive.
Matt, I love the idea of a potato tortilla. It is one of my favorite things to make at home, and I've never even thought about it, but it's really inexpensive. I've jazzed up tortillas before with just a can of artichoke hearts or roasted red peppers. I put olives in it, I put arugula. I mean, I'm sure you know all these variations, but I love it, and it's such a great dish.
So my $10 recipe that will feed your whole family is a really simple curry, and I love this kind of high reward for minimal effort recipe, because people just get totally wowed that you actually made a curry from scratch. And really all you need is a can of coconut milk, which is going to be the sort of basis for your sauce. Canned tomatoes, both are really cheap. I mean, can of coconut milk is $1, if that. If you're worried about using coconut milk because it is quite high in fat, and saturated fat in particular, you can use light coconut milk, or just set a little bit of half and half from your fridge just to finish it off, make it a little bit creamy. So it's really good for you, and you only have one pot to clean up.
I'm a big fan of one pot anything. I love curries. I love the fact that you can put anything in it. I'm gonna have to do this.
I also can't tell you how many times I've gone to the grocery store to pick up ingredients for an Indian dish or an all-vegetable stew, and just marveled that without even trying, we managed to spend well under $10 on our groceries. My $10 meal for 4 is a Pizza Margarita, homemade pizza. Who doesn't like that? And I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to make my own pizza dough? This is so much work. But I think that if you get it down, that first time you make it, it might be a little bit scary, but then you're gonna realize how ridiculously easy it is.
And what does it cost? Like 50 cents for a batch of pizza dough? It's so easy. I actually get my husband to do it now.
I'm not gonna lie, when you tell people that you're really good at making homemade pizza, they're gonna be impressed. They're gonna be a little jealous too, and they should be. It's awesome.
The idea of starting with your own ingredients and doing it yourself is a really important tip. I don't think people realize that there is a cost associated with convenience, and you're gonna pay for it some way or another.
I'll give you a little tip now that you're about to be a mom. You can make stuffed crust pizza using those, those cheese strings or cheese sticks. Get the mozzarella ones, or just get mozzarella cheese and cut it into sticks. And what you do is just sort of run it along the edge of the crust and roll the crust over, the dough over to encase the cheese. And then when you bake it, it gets all melty inside and you have the stuffed crust pizza. And you'll be the coolest mom on the whole block.
And I'll show you how to make these recipes and more at GoodBite.com.